Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. Today I'm going to be showcasing some mods that most of you already should be using in 2024 as we head into 2025, at least if you want a complete overhaul in certain aspects of Skyrim. These will be complete mods, so that add-ons are only if you feel like you want to add more mods to your mod list. Otherwise, these mods will most likely satisfy all your modding needs in the category that I'm placing them in. As usual though, all mods for Xbox and PC will be linked down in the description. And if it is available for PlayStation, they will also be linked down in the description, so you don't have to go searching for yourself. So if you end up enjoying this video, make sure to hit that like button down below, or watch all the way through. And if you end up grabbing any of these mods, please make sure to endorse the mod author as well. With that being said, let's dive right in. The first mod up today is a massive overhaul to all the main cities of Skyrim. This mod is called SR Exterior City 2.0. This mod completely removes all loading screens from Skyrim that have to deal with traveling in and out of cities. The loading screens for interiors are still there, but as you open the gate, you will immediately see the interior of the city along with any of the mods that you added to it, provided there is patches available. For PC users, there is a huge patch hub available that you can just pretty much click through, and it will install all the most important patches available for you automatically. At least that's what I did, and it worked seamlessly. But fair warning, if you have massive city overhaul type mods such as Capital Whiterun, your FPS will take a hit. Most people who favor this kind of mod tend to still be using open cities. While that is a certified classic to some people if they got it working, this is a much better alternative due to the constant updates and patches being released. You will definitely enjoy this mod if you're tired of Bethesda's multiple loading screens. Up next, a complete remaster of the Faith system. This mod is called Wintersun, Faiths of Skyrim. This is a bit older than the newer Faith alternatives, but you'll find no harm using this mod for its simplicity, but also expansive changes. Wintersun adds multiple statues around Skyrim with also multiple deities that you can pray to that weren't originally in vanilla Skyrim. And you can gain their favor, allowing you to pretty much switch deities at any given time during your playthrough. And some races are even locked out of praying to certain gods, kind of limiting the choice you have for a build based on your race, but also giving advantages with other gods because other races can't use them. So it's giving you more of a reason to try other things in other races. You get the choice of your deity the moment you step into an open area, so you won't be able to choose immediately upon making a new game, only when you pick your start just to prevent issues. And after that start, you'll be given the base of 20% favor with the deity you chose and also the pray function. Most gods will accept a simple pray once a day, where your character will just lay down and pray to them. But some will have special requirements, such as praying while having a human heart in your inventory. If you don't pray once a day, you'll eventually lose favor until eventually your deity abandons you altogether. But there's no real penalty besides losing the buffs you gained over time through favor with the gods. But you can change pretty much everything through the MCM. Up next, a mod I didn't even know console users could have. But up next we have the mod Lux, a complete and modern lighting overhaul for the interiors of Skyrim. Lux works especially well for ENB users as you're seeing, but it is not needed. You could honestly just use Lux alone and have immersive and dark interiors, so you don't have to worry about your FPS. Lux reworks the lighting as well as all the visual effects of interior cells, and also some places like dungeons, where the only thing preventing it from being an interior is a loading screen. The biggest issue that most may have with Lux is how shadows were completely reworked with this mod. The way that lighting can cause new shadows will cause FPS drops when combined with heavy overhauls for interiors. But unless you're using something like JK Interiors, which already has a lot of draw calls on its own, you'll be perfectly fine because I never had any FPS drops with Lux, even on my 1650. But the best part of Lux is its use of natural lighting. The candles are not spotlights that light up the entire interior room like in vanilla Skyrim. The light radius is immersive, and the window lighting will handle the rest, creating the perfect environment. But because it follows natural lighting, it will follow the weather, so if it's bright it'll be a little bright, but if it's raining, it'll be a little dark for you. And of course, because Lux only handles interiors, with some exception to cells, you'll need an exterior lighting overhaul, which is Lux Orbis. Lux Orbis isn't a complete lighting overhaul for the exterior of Skyrim. It just reworks the artificial lighting created by light sources such as sconces or just torches. It follows the same theme as Lux, taking these artificial light sources from being spotlights and turning them into what you would see from maybe a small campfire, which definitely makes sense, especially when you consider almost all of Skyrim lighting comes from fire, mainly because they don't like mages. With Lux Orbis, your nights will finally be dark without the need of extra mods and weather mods just to make it seem dark, and you'll finally be able to use those cool torch mods you downloaded. Up next, a complete rework of 90% of Skyrim's interiors, all in one mod called Distinct Interiors. Most people forget that this mod even exists because people generally prefer JK's Skyrim, and I 100% understand that, but if you want a complete overhaul for your Skyrim's interiors, without using almost 300 plugins if you patch it with Lux and its own separate patches, then Distinct Interiors is what you want to go for. Every interior overhaul by this mod has immersive clutter added to it based on, I believe, the name of the interior. So you'll see different clutter like guard shield placed on the wall of the interior based on the city. Even though it adds a lot of clutter to the interiors, your FPS won't take a hit. You'll definitely be able to tell the difference that this mod makes on your Skyrim immediately though. Fair warning though, most patches for Distinct Interiors, even though there aren't many needed because it's an all-in-one and it's pretty simple, they expect you to be using the all-in-one version because there isn't many patches for the standalone version, such as if you don't want a certain type of interior overhaul. But if you do decide to grab the all-in-one, which I highly recommend and what is linked in the description, you'll have to commit to this just like JK, because unless Distinct Interior specifically says that it does not touch that location, you will need a patch if you want an interior type mod besides this. But honestly, with so many interiors being overhauled with this mod, you shouldn't need much else. The next mod up is a complete overhaul of the combat system of Skyrim. This massive mod is called Wildcat Combat of Skyrim. I generally would recommend Valhalla Combat here, but after coming back from Valhalla to Wildcat, it's made me realize just how great Skyrim combat system can be without copying other games of 2024. Wildcat takes Skyrim from being just a hack and slash and back up and forward type of combat to an attacks of opportunity type of combat. Everything you do will be based on stamina that you and your enemy currently have. Their AI has also been overhauled to understand this as well. Literally everything you do now will cost stamina, from swimming to even just holding a bow fully drawn. It won't regenerate fast even when you're not in combat, so you will really need to prepare before running up and then jumping straight into combat with 5 bandits. Wildcat also turns damage values up, so no one is truly tanky anymore, so you really have to take advantage and time your attacks, or you're probably going to end up dying a lot with this mod. This is probably as hardcore as Skyrim is going to get in terms of combat without downloading Requiem. But even if you do survive that long combat and just happen to have 1 health left somehow, Wildcat also went and added its own injury system. And the injury system activates when you reach low health. It is timer based, but it will apply a massive conditional debuff to your character that will most likely get you killed based on the descriptions. The best part though is that everything about Wildcat can be configured in its MCM. Most of the options aren't even toggled on by default, so you can make this as hard as you want it to be, and also customize how much damage is done on each difficulty, just in case you feel like this mod made enemies too squishy or maybe you die too fast with it. You can make it a little easier on yourself. Wildcat is a classic that is still being updated, so I highly recommend it. But up next we have the mod AI Overhaul. I don't know why this needs to be said, but if you're still using immersive citizens in 2024, you pretty much deserve all the crashes and bugs that you're getting. And I am sorry to say that, but AI Overhaul is much better and the least buggy alternative. With this mod, NPCs will become much more lively, adding hundreds of new idols for NPCs to use. AI Overhaul also overhauls behaviors for NPCs so they can be seen leaning against new objects and also doing new activities during their daily routine. Aside from overhauling just daily routines, it also overhauls certain combat aspects for friendly NPCs. They will no longer charge at dragons and just die for no reason, unless they're known for their combat abilities in vanilla Skyrim. Nowadays, they'll most likely run away or just run to any interior, which means that massive mod you probably still have in your load order run for your lives is now useless with AI Overhaul. Another great part of AI Overhaul is certain NPCs have a flag that prevents them from being killed unless by the player character. but not all of them have this flag, so some will still die off screen. With AI Overhaul, you might even see NPCs interacting more, so they have their own lives to live and won't seem like such a hive mind now. And of course, I can't end the video without at least a magic overhaul. My personal preference for this is Mysticism. If you're looking for a massive magic overhaul, this is the one that you want to go for, unless you want random spells that let you go Super Saiyan and then one-shot Alduin. Mysticism is a magic overhaul along the lines of Skyrim. It's basically completing the magic system and then expanding on it as well while keeping it lore friendly. Because in vanilla Skyrim, some spells are just blatantly missing, like Bethesda just didn't care to complete the list. Like certain conjuration spells aren't there, or even bound weapon types not being there, like warhammers or even bound shields. It also has different levels to vanilla spells like greater runes that deal much more damage than the base level runes, and actually makes them useful. Or even just more master level spells, because in vanilla Skyrim, there really aren't that many. And also for those wondering and type in the comment right now, the casting rune that you see is from the mod Strange Ruins. Like I said, you're probably typing it right now, so you can delete that. Mysticism, in my opinion, is definitely the perfect magical overhaul for Skyrim, if you're looking to just make Skyrim better than it already is, without turning it into a completely new game. Mysticism will literally make every mage build viable. Mysticism used to have a spell called Grand Telekinesis, where you could fling every creature besides dragons, even giants, like 100 yards into the air. I wonder why that magic spell was removed. That was pretty much it for today, guys. Honestly, you could use this video for a base of your modding list, and you could just add a little things on top of it, and be good to actually play Skyrim. But I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Peace and love, guys.